thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll just, since it's the first time we're running this live show on YouTube, we'll build the platform before we actually uh, start talking. So, thank you all. God bless you all for joining. Thank you so much. Thank you. Once you join, let's share. It's the first time we're running this show on YouTube, so uh, we want to thank you guys. It's a new platform, very new, but we have to um, do what we got to do, very necessary. So let's see what's going on so that I can. I want to see how we can get this out. Okay, thank you, my friend and brother NS, for joining. We're trying to see, you want to share this and. Thank you. Please, let's build a platform. We have little issues with our Facebook account, so we have to try to start using this. It's very necessary. So we'll see how it works. Okay. So today we basically will be talking about a couple of issues that you are all aware of, and we are going to ensure that we try to be as brief as possible because here we are concerned about everybody out there who understands the dynamics of the revolution. We know a whole lot of people would actually uh, think differently about a couple of things that have happened the last few minutes or so, if you want to define it that way. And we understand that the peculiarity of our revolution is based on the understanding of people who want to follow the war to the end, and not basically on people who only think about conspiracy theories and want to try to divide us as much as they can. So I am particularly concerned about the strategic nature of our revolution, how far we've gone, and what we still have to do in order to consolidate our gains and ensure that the enemy doesn't trample on us. It is quite necessary for us all to know that the necessity of issues like this give us the very important strength so that we can understand how much we have to go, where we're gonna go, and exactly what we should be doing. Ladies and gentlemen, I understand that we are starting a little bit late, added to the fact that uh, we are doing this on YouTube for the first time because we're trying to minimize the blocking of our account on Facebook. So we are trying to see if we're going to add a second device so that other people too can follow from other platforms. But that notwithstanding, it is very important for me to announce to you that we have control of our revolution. We are steady about the particular aspect of any individual who exactly thinks that the revolution is about their thing or them trying to destroy it. So we want to place a huge significance on the belief that those who understand the dynamics of the revolution have in the revolution. That is why we're talking today about Ambazonia, their leaders, and the revolution. Because in a revolution like this, we have to understand that it is not an exam timetable where things are expected uh, to go the way they're supposed to go. Somebody suggesting that I put the link on Facebook. The link is already on Facebook. I try to share it, but I'm sure that predominantly because it's a new way to go about it, a couple of people are going to learn it, and we're going to be good. We are sure we know the message is going to reach everybody, so we want to concentrate on the message. And for now, since it's new, we don't want to concentrate much on the number of people watching at once. We can always do a rematch on Facebook and stuff like that. So, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ambazonians, like I was saying, we have had. I'll be very brief for this live show. We have had, and we're still having, a very successful lockdown, and we cannot deny the impact the lockdown has cost La Republic to Cameroon in terms of the economy. We cannot also refuse that we have also had some collateral damages, in which case we should understand that that is part of the dynamics of war, that each time you have to achieve something in war, you have to also kind of like there are some things you're going to lose as well, and so we have to be sure about these particular issues, and we must understand exactly the significance of what is going on, and we are very concerned about reports that will go out to the international community and how much we can build the credibility of independent reporters in our revolution. Add to every other thing that is going on, then we must have known that we are on the path of success or we are failing. Based on this, I want to give you my fine opinion about what I think and my assessment of our revolution so far. The point is that a lot of our compatriots have already missed the target, and so they only want to understand that they should put controversy on social media. You are all aware of a whole lot of things that have been going on, and I do not want to discuss about things that are not pertinent at the moment, because you must know that once you have an assignment, there is always a special way, a technical and tactical way the devil must come in place and must come in play to ensure that you are disturbed and you get disrupted from that particular job. Now, this is what I'm trying to say. I'm saying something very simple. We have a lockdown that we have been in constant communication with the field actors, those who understand the dynamics of the battlefield. We've been talking with them, and we are very concerned about their safety, about the continual enforcement of this lockdown, and we are also concerned about this very important news that has just leaked out from La République du Cameroon about the mountain race, that they are planning to secretly uh, organize a mountain race on the 14th. That's the announcement I'm trying to get. So we are working very hard on that and ensuring that because we're hoping that after our lockdown they should do a mountain race, because 14th is not locked down, because we said from uh, uh, the 5th to the 14th, which means that on the 14th everybody's going back doing their normal activities, if I'm not mistaken. And so La Republic is also strategizing. So we want to look at all these things. So ladies and gentlemen, I only want to tell you on this special program today that we have a very important assignment. The assignment is ensuring that the lockdown is successful. The assignment is ensuring that we continuously have the credibility and win the trust of our people so that we can, in no time, get to Boya by ensuring that people don't get donor fatigue or they don't complain when they donate. And so it is the wish of this platform that everyone in Ambazonians should understand that there are always conspiracy theorists, people who will put things out there to get you very confused. Well, whatever news is flying on social media, it can be true, it can be a lie, but I elect not to talk about it at this moment because that is not the most important thing at this moment. At this moment, I'm concerned. I use the pronoun I because it's a personal challenge for me as an activist to ensure from my own little end that the ghost town or lockdown that we have implemented is successful. And so we cannot get distracted in any one way by having people talking about things that are infinitesimal, things that are insignificant. I cannot give any negative energy publicity on this platform because for me, as Eric Tato, I am concerned about the success of this lockdown. When the lockdown is done, we will move to talking other things, including the National AK campaign. For now, I want to see how we can continuously and most especially shut down the federal capital to ensure that everything is grounded. We have 11th February that is coming up in 2 days, and we cannot have ourselves talking about issues that are not important, talking about WhatsApp chats and WhatsApp gossips. And it suffices to me that anybody who is understanding, of the relationships between the publics and the informants or the broadcasters should understand that there is a dire need for information verification and confirmation. And so we understand that there is nobody in Ambazonia who does not have who cannot get access to somebody if he actually wants to by trying to make some contact. So take for example, you have heard a couple of stuffs. Some people said Eric Tato did this and did that. And for the longest time that I've said that, I have not come to reply because it's just waste of my time. So we have to keep the faith, ladies and gentlemen, and hope in God and in your revolution, not in people and not in some messages that you read on Facebook. So that's the message I have for you today. I do not want to make this live show very long, but I only want to use this opportunity. I'll make it as brief as the next 5 or 7 minutes it should be ended. I just want to use this opportunity to let the gang fighters understand one particular and important thing, that this revolution is theirs, and for them alone, they understand who to trust and what to do. We have succeeded in trying to cut across the various fighters in almost all the counties. We know the bad ones, and especially thinking of the people of Moyoka. We have heard what is trying to happen there, and we are working behind the scenes to ensure that we put order, especially from those guys who are coming from elsewhere to disturb. So, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ambazonians, I want you to know that this is not a regular show. We can call it a test run on this YouTube. And just to let you know that this platform is not saying anything about the WhatsApp messages that you've seen because it is insignificant at this time. What is important to me as an activist is ensuring that you have the best out of everything you want. See, let me tell us something that we have not understood. The problem here is that if you refuse to listen to people who are conspiracy theorists, you would have done yourself and the revolution 90% good. I would have been on track for a big win. But if you continuously hope that every time you have to react and you have to get panicked by the utterances and the schemes from Confucianists and conspiracy theorists, you would obviously be in the position that you are now. Take for example, as National Telegraph, we have published hundreds of articles since the beginning of this revolution, probably thousands. And we try to be independent as possible by reporting everything that happens across the board. Now, there is a report that we put out on the beheading of a soldier, for example, and which to many Ambazonians, including me, is not a good report, but it's a fact that is what Ambazonian soldiers did. I have to still repeat it. But you do not expect me not to report it. There are issues that I cannot explain here because if you report 99% of all the bad things that the soldiers do, which they do as fact, and there is 1% of some bad things that Ambazonians have done, which is also a fact. I mean, those who have the revolution at heart, they should concentrate on sharing the 99% of the bad things that the soldiers have done. You do not share Eric Tato's post when he talks about the fact that soldiers have burnt Bisonabang or some villages or they have killed a priest. You don't share, you just read for free. You don't share, and even sharing, you don't give me any bonus or benefit. It's for the other people to read. But you only wait and wait that when there's something that you can use it for a controversial write-up, you take and then you instead help to share. And sometimes if you assume that the enemy would not have seen it, the enemy is still seeing it through you. So what we're trying to say is that at the National Telegraph and as Eric Tato, I am trying to create an independent entity because, take for example, some guys from the UN, they contact me, uh, other journalists from other TV stations and radio stations, they contact me behind the scenes, and I give them my opinion because they have noticed that although I'm an activist, I still report independently. If they need an eyewitness on things that are going on the ground, of course, National Telegraph can be a perfect occasion for an eyewitness. And at that time, the Ambazonian people will have to wait to know what kind of an eyewitness you are. But to say that because you posted something and some people try to make mountain out of it is very disheartening because that is not supposed to be our intention. Ambazonians are supposed to understand that the Eric Tato who talks here is very different from the National Telegraph that they read. And that's why everything that is professional is official. And, we pay to host the website and we take care of a whole lot of things to make sure that you read news for free. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to beg you all, fellow Ambazonians, 2 more minutes to end this live show. We might do something on Facebook later. But mind you that you have to remain concrete and very firm to the point. Do not listen to gossips. And of course, be sure that everything you do it in oneness and in the spirit of the revolution to liberate our people. Thank you so much. At this juncture, I will do a replay of this and probably run another brief show on Facebook on the other account. Want to be very strong to ensure that none of our accounts are put off so that whatever be the case, we can always come on YouTube and watch what we want to watch. Thank you so much and God bless you. I'm going to leave you all at this juncture and we are glad that you've been following. Thank you for now. Keep the faith and let's hope for the better. Bye bye.